What are push and pull? Push and pull are a type of force that acts on object to change its motion. Push and pull in our daily basis such as open and close the door, playing toys, push our friends, wearing shoes. Joint action in push and pull are characterized by opposite action in upper limb and simultaneous action in lower limb. When you push object, your lower extremity is in simultaneous action. Meanwhile, your upper extremity is in opposite action. Same basic joint action pattern applied during pulling. The upper extremity is in opposite action, meanwhile your lower extremity is in simultaneous action. Momentary contact occurs when a moving part of body made a contact with an object.
In momentary contact, the hip is in flexion, knee extension, and also ankle plantar flexion. Gluteus medius is the main stabilizer of pelvic, controlling pelvic in the frontal plane alignment during functional activities. Weakness will affect the single leg weight bearing and make the pelvic lateral drop to the opposite side.
Projection occurs when the projected object has development of kinetic energy.
Projection. So there is a ball that is projected into the net. So the two forces that affecting projection is the first one is the resistance and the second one is gravity. So what are the factors that affecting projection? First the angle, second velocity, and third the height of the projection. The biomechanics in basketball. So I will show you the normal movement in basketball associated with the projections. Okay, imagine that this is a boy ready to shoot the basketball. He jumps at some height, then the basketball is released from his hands. With 55 degrees of projecting ball, this helps the basketball to go into the net. So what are the phases that actually involved in the basketballs? First, the action phase, second, the follow-through phase. For action phase, the shoulder is flexion involving anterior deltoid and pectoralis major. For the elbow joint, for the dominant hand is extension, while the non-dominant hand is flexion involving triceps, brachii, and anconeus. For the wrist joint, the dominant hand is flexion, while the non-dominant hand is extension. The muscle involved is wrist flexor group, which are flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor carpi radialis, and palmaris longus. For the knee joint, it is extension involving quadriceps, while the ankle is plantar flexion involving gastrocnemius and soleus. For follow-through phase, at shoulder joint, the movement is flexion about 140 to 150 degree with muscle anterior deltoid and pectoralis major and slightly elevation by upper trapezius and serratus anterior. For the elbow joint involving extension with triceps brachii and anconeus muscle. At wrist joint is flexion. The muscles are flexion carpi radialis and flexor carpi ulnaris. Further hips is extension movement involving gluteus maximus and hamstrings, while at the knee joint is extension by quadriceps. For the ankle joint is plantar flexion by gastrocnemius and soleus.
application is when there is continuous application of force from hands and legs.
This is Atika, pushing an object. She is struggling because this is the wrong technique to push an object. Pushing with trunk leg can cause more load to be exerted on your back. Plus, pushing with elbow extend can increase the length of the movement arm. So what is movement arm? Movement arm is the length between joint axis and line of force acting on the joint. The shorter the length of movement arm, less load will be applied to the joint axis. To push an object, you should flex your elbow. By flexing elbow, we can reduce length of movement arm by bringing shoulder, which is the joint axis, closer to the line of force, which is at the hand. Next, you should always make sure to keep your spine straight. Bring one leg forward and slightly bend the knee. It is also important to wear suitable shoes when pushing. This shoes is nice, but it has no grip at all. Use shoes with grip to increase friction at feet. This will allow greater force to be generated to the object. We can also use equipment such as roller, as the wheel will provide the least rolling resistance.
Principle push and pull. Motion that produces force will describe in terms of magnitude, direction, and point of application. Magnitude of force. The object will move if the force is greater than object's inertia, mass, friction between object and surface, resistance of surrounding medium, and internal resistance. Direction of force. The direction of object move is determined by direction of applied force.
Point of application. If the force applied in line with object's center of gravity, it will cause linear motion. And if force not applied in line with object's center of gravity, it will cause rotary motion. If the motion of the object is interfered with the obstacle, it will cause the rotary motion, even though the force applied in linear motion.